36 years of basketball knowledge and life skills. Your host, Coach Goins, focuses on today's topics on and off the court, helping players and coaches achieve their goals. So get ready for another fast break episode of Basketball More Than a Game with your host, Coach Goins.
Hey, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another fast break edition of Basketball More Than a Game, and I'm your host, Coach Goins. Listen, I am not in the gym, and I am not in the studio. I am actually live at Wilson Elementary School in Fishersville, Virginia. Coach, what are you doing at Fishersville Elementary School? I am here talking to the entire cast of the Disney Jungle Book play that was actually presented back in April. So we reached out and made contact with the director, Miss Stephanie Knapzinger. And she said, you know what, we'd love to have you come in. So, hey, you know what, we're going to have a fun-filled day. So as we always say, make sure you have your sneakers on. You got them laced up tight because you're going to be hearing from some dynamic young actors as well as the staff and the director and everybody that really built this entire program. Actually, I'm not telling you from what I don't know because I had the opportunity to come out and see the presentation or the production for 2 nights. And it was absolutely fantastic. And my favorite part was the crows when they came flying across today. I was like, I don't know why, but I lost it. But without further ado, we have currently the director of the Jungle Book, Ms. Knapzinger, with us. So we certainly welcome you. Thank you so much for taking time out, and welcome to Basketball More Than a Game.
Thank you so much for hosting us. I know myself and the students are so excited to sit down and talk with you. So Thank you, too. I'm excited to be here.
Yes, ma'am. So, again, we know that, this doesn't happen overnight. So if you don't mind just telling our viewers, or I say viewers, our listeners, tell them a little bit about what goes into, when did y'all start, the process, and everything that from the director's chair, just share that with our audience.
Okay. So the process for the Jungle Book actually started last school year. We did Annie Jr., and then shortly after, we had to decide which play to do next. When we make a decision as to what play we're going to do in our school, we look at the students and the possible cast members that we'll have. So looking ahead at the talent that was in the upcoming 3rd and 4th grades, we determined that the Jungle Book would be great. There's a strong male singing and acting talent in the school, so having a play that was driven by a male just fit what we had at the time. Then we started audition processes in December. Students were selected for cast members. They had over Christmas break to practice and listen to the music. And then in January, we started meeting. So from January to February, we met 1 day a week to do rehearsals, to do blocking, choreography. And then when it got to May and April, we started meeting 2 times a week, doing entire run-throughs of the play.
Wow.
So it did it was a very lengthy process, and the students just grew so much. I think that was one of the most amazing moments, seeing how far they came.
And folks, again, as a witness, I show up on Friday night, and people don't, they take it for granted of, you're dealing, and listen what I was saying in the beginning, the Jungle Book kids, okay? So keep that in mind as the director stand up there and she's doing everything that she needs to do. They're still elementary kids, and for them to dial it in, for them to have the process and the maturity to be able to handle the role, it was exciting. And again, that's why we're here. I know they made copies, and so you're going to be hearing from hopefully majority of the cast members that because again, from the young ladies that played the sun and the moon as they went across the stage is just as important as the young men that played Mowgli, because it is an entire body of work that makes the production go. So again, just tremendous job. And again, as Ms. Knapzinger was saying, it's a process. They just don't wake up and walk into school and just to say, hey, we're going to do the Jungle Book, and we're going to do it this Friday. No, it's planning. It's the making sure that the right fit for the right student. So what am I telling you, young folks that are listening to Coach Goins today? Make sure that you understand whether it's on the court, it's off the court. Take care of what you need to take care of. Listen to your teachers and make sure that everything that you're doing, you're putting your best foot forward. So with that, Ms. Knapzinger, let's talk a little bit about the night of the show. Okay. I know all of the work goes in, but how you as a director, I want to really drill in here. In this section, we kind of call In the Paint when we're doing our regular show. Right. So In the Paint with you as a director, I know it's a lot of pressure, but what were you feeling Friday night?
I think on Friday, I wasn't feeling nervous. At
Okay.
that point, I was so excited to share what I had witnessed over
Okay.
4 months with the classmates and with our teachers, with the public that were coming in. I was so energetic and ready. The students were ready as well. And it was just exciting to see it all together, to have it at night with the audience there. I did feel a little nervous. I was like, oh no, there's going to be one little thing. There are a few hiccups, but I don't think anybody noticed. The students, they were vibrant. They were full of energy. I think they were ready just as much as I was. So I was more energetic than I was nervous.
Yeah, and that's what, and I think the having it in Friday night, and it just captures the moment. If you did it in the afternoon or right after school, but again, as a person, actually I came last year doing Annie,
Right.
and again the whole setting and been doing it at night I think that's a great call out. So whoever made that decision, hats off, and they're shooting a deep three there, so we definitely a win there. But again, if folks as folks are coming in. The kids are, they're a little, they're wound tight because, they want to do a great job. So we want to just kind of peel the onion back. Now, let's talk about Saturday.
Okay.
Coming out of Friday, and as you said, you anticipate some of the things. Now, as a director, how do you go about not saying, okay, I got to fix this, I got to fix, what is, just tell, because everybody everybody watches movies. Everybody goes,
Right.
man, that was a great movie. But as a director, take us to the director's chair. How does it feel once you did the show Friday? How do you go about not making a course correction for Saturday?
Well, as I was watching the show Friday, I was making notes.
Okay.
Little suggestions,
Sure.
just things that I saw, things that we could tighten up and maybe spin it a different way. So I think one of the things, most important thing on a Saturday show is to keep that energy. The students are feeling comfortable. They've gotten over the first night jitters. So typically on the second night, it dips a little bit energetic. But this group of students, their confidence grew. I was like, oh my gosh, we need to do more shows because they are so enthusiastic right now. I gave feedback, and we always start our rehearsals with praise. Like, let's talk about what's good. And then when you present the feedback, I always would go in a way where it was very complimentary. So they didn't really know that they did anything wrong, just kind of spin it in a way that, hey, that was awesome, but let's try it this way and do this. So I don't know. It was just, a little different, and then I didn't take any notes Saturday.
Okay. All right. So, I'm glad you brought that up because I don't know if you were looking on my list of questions over here, but that's what I was going to kind of ask, and not to put you on the spot. But have you all ever looked at, I know you did a Friday night, Saturday night, what about, another night, or been able to go say, we're going to take it from the elementary school, we're going to do it at the high school, or we're going to take it. Now, is that something that may be in the works for the coming years?
That's actually a great idea. Now, we did present it to our to the school as a whole, a week after we performed it live to the public. We had talked about maybe taking it to a nursing home. With this school year being so short this year, we do have to kind of rethink that. But I do think that they could have performed it a little bit more, and other people would have definitely enjoyed doing that. So
yeah, and that's one thing that folks, again, if you don't have a copy, get a copy. Listen to these kids, talk about the excitement and the passion. And again, it's just you think about the movie, and when, of course, I had to go back and say, all right, I got to watch the Jungle Book before the actual come to the play, just to kind of dial it in to kind of bring it back home, because it had been a while. But again, we just want to thank you, so much for what you're doing for the kids. A lot of times, people show up. Just like coaching, they show up and pay $5 to get in for a ball game, and they think they know what to do. Sometimes, people may come and see a performance and think, oh, I would have done it that way. Well, okay, no, that's why the title is director. It's in the hands of Miss Knapsinger. But in that, again, we just want to thank you for your continued, compassion, and we can see that from the kids. And folks, again, it's not to beat a dead horse, but being there in the audience, you can see the kids' reaction at the end of the presentation, the end of the production, as well as, the parents coming up. It was just, top to bottom. And as I said earlier, no role is a small role. Some kids have lead roles, but most importantly, they all come together in the body of work. And that's the most important thing, is at the end of the night, what did it show, and what was the final what was the final presentation, what was the final broadcast from a Friday night show to Saturday night, and just the great reviews across the board, top to bottom. So again, we continue to challenge you. Next year, I know coming off of seeing Annie last year, the Jungle Book this year, do you have any idea what you may be, if you don't mind kind of?
We have a couple of ideas.
Okay.
We haven't really narrowed it down. We're going to be reviewing some plays.
Okay.
Now, we do have to look at the students coming up. But we do have one in mind. I'm afraid to give any hints in case we change it. I think there might be some disappointed students out there.
Okay, but again, we don't want to tip our hands to anything coming down the pipe. So, folks, again, we certainly thank Miss Nafsinger for what she's done with the Jungle Book, what she did last year with Annie. But again, if you have the opportunity when there's advertised, you're not going to go wrong by stopping by Wilson Elementary School. Take a little bit of time out. Call somebody, come out and support the kids. Read about when they're doing something positive. Don't wait till something, sometimes maybe something may happen a little negative, and then we want to jump on that bandwagon. But most importantly, support the kids in the performing arts because somebody in a movie somewhere in Hollywood started in elementary school, I'm sure, and it's a passion, and you can just see it. And again, great presentation, and we thank you so much.
Thank you.
And again, you're not gonna get away that easy. We do have a couple other questions before we actually start bringing on the cast members. So with that, I know you couldn't do it by yourself. And
Yes.
I know you had a staff and a supporting role. So if you'd like to call any of those folks out and just kind of mention what they did and what they helped with the production as well.
Absolutely. I think one of the most important people to recognize is Keith Dishman. He was our music director. Without his support and guidance, I don't think that we would have had the show we had. His talent for music was just extraordinary, and sadly, he's going to be retiring this year. So it was great to kind of have the Jungle Book as his capstone play. The other person is Kim Howerton. She was our stage manager, and she created the costumes for the Jungle Book, which were incredible.
Yes, they were.
Absolutely amazing. She was my right hand. I can't even say, it does take a village to create a play. We had Tiffany Tyree, who took care of all our publicity and advertising. Christy Pilson was our artistic manager. She helped with set designs and props. And then Shelley Payne was our event manager. While everybody was backstage running around, she was out front, making sure that the refreshments tables were staffed. She was doing programs. So again, it does take a lot of people in order to get everything accomplished for opening night.
And that's what's so important, folks. They don't realize that, you can't have the production solely 100% by yourself, and it cannot go just off one person and one body of work. So again, hats off. And again, we're going to be closing down this session, but coming up next will be actually the stars of the show and the stars again. So we're just going to sit back and have a little fun with today's episode. So please stay tuned for more from the Jungle Book from Wilson Elementary School, Fishersville, Virginia. And we'll see you in a second. Hey, this is Coach Goins, and I'm back. You know what? And as we always say, make sure you got your sneakers laced up tight, because we have right now on the podcast, we have Mowgli that was and the actor there was Mr. V.J. Bullitt, who's been on the show before, and also Bagheera, who is Miss Megan Cross. So, guys, and ladies, welcome to Basketball More in the Game.
Yes. My name is V.J. Bullard, and I played Mowgli in a school play. It was very successful.
My name's Megan Cross, and I played Bagheera in the play, and it was so much fun. I can't wait to do it again next year.
How about that, folks? So again, you're hearing from I'm going to call them the two stars of the show, and so anybody you got to have some people that's basically the star of the show, as well as you have people that make happen, and hopefully we'll be able to get to talk to a little bit of everybody today. So with that, let's talk a little bit about you two. That's right here, right now, prime time. So with that, Miss Megan Cross, tell us, what do you like to do when you're not acting?
When I'm not acting, I really like taking walks with my dog, Moab. He's so much fun. I just got him, and I love doing soccer on the weekends and soccer practices.
All right, so she's an athlete, she's a student, and she's also an actress. Great job. I actually came to see the production 2 nights, Friday and Saturday. Now it came Sunday. If it had been Sunday. VJ, I know you've been on the podcast. You're no stranger to our subscribers and our listeners. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about what you do when you're not acting.
Well, I play a lot of football, basketball, and baseball. I'm a little all around, but I just stopped baseball, and now I'm running track on Clement.
All right, so he's going to run a little track. I know he just finished up a football camp down in Myrtle Beach where he walked away with the MVP. So a great job, again, in the classroom as well as on the play. So I'm going to put you on the spot there, Miss Cross. So out of the play, you have 2 nights to choose from, Friday or Saturday. What in your mind was the best day of the play?
I think it was really Friday because I was really excited. I was really ready to act. I don't know what was the best, but I really think it was Friday. My acting was a little bit better. At Saturday, I was tired, and I kind of wanted to get it over with, but I was sad that I wouldn't be able to see my friends anymore that were in the play, even though I get to hang out with them all the time.
All right, sounds good. So, Mr. VJ, same question. Friday night or Saturday night, and which one were you most excited for?
Definitely Saturday night.
Why Saturday night, sir?
Because I think we learned from our mistakes more, and that we just did better. The crowd was laughing a little more than Friday.
Okay, so in that, I'm going to ask you guys for a little help here. Coach Goins needs a little help. I've got to meet the crows, okay? When I'm sitting there watching and the crows start coming across and they're, I was like, I don't know. I thought that was so funny. I just couldn't. I was on the front row and I was losing it, but that was a great thing. So with that, I've got one closing question so we can go ahead and get the rest of the cast members in. And I'll start off with Miss Cross. What is your goals and what would you like to do? I know you're in elementary school, but what would you like to do in the future?
Well, I really love acting, so I want to keep on doing that through middle school and high school and keep on doing that because I love doing that. But for a job, I really want to go to college, Blue Ridge or UVA, and I want to become a doctor of some sort. I don't know what kind of doctor, but I really want to become a doctor.
Well, you know what? We wish you continued success, whether you're acting, whether you're out doing the things on the soccer field, but most importantly, we know that you'll make a difference. So, again, look forward to another presentation, another play, another production. So we'll be, folks, I'm going to call that name again, Megan Cross. So whether it's Dr. Megan Cross or she steps up and accepts that Academy Award, you heard her first right here on Basketball More Than the Game. So, Mr. VJ, go ahead and lay it down for the folks there. Tell us what's in the future and what would you like to do by the time you're high school and beyond.
So, in middle school and high school and beyond, I would like to play football, but football is a 1 in a million chance, so if I can't get to do that, I want to be a lawyer, something like that, a judge, something.
Okay, so he wants to get in that system and make sure that you don't go in that courtroom, not unless there's no other than a speeding ticket. And don't let them drop the gavel on. So, again, we wish you continued success, sir. And as we said, folks, he's been on the podcast before, and I'm sure he'll be on it again. But to both Megan Cross and also Victor Bullitt the second, great job, great presentation. You guys have a bright future in that. And you know what? I got to ask one question. Who is your favorite actress, Miss Cross, if you have one?
I have a lot of favorite actresses,
okay,
but it has to be Emma Watson because
Emma Watson, and she plays
Harry Potter, Beauty and the Beast,
okay,
and I'm sure way more than
all right,
count.
All right, Mr. VJ Bullitt, your favorite actor?
Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman. How about that? So we know Morgan he's played a little bit, and I remember when I was a kid, maybe Miss Cross and Mr. Bullitt's age, when Morgan Freeman was on the electric company. His name was Easy Reader. and that was back in the early 70s. So he has, he's done, he has been in a lot of great movies. So again, that's a great selection from both of you all. We thank you so much for your time, your talent, and your efforts to making the Jungle Book for kids here at Wilson Elementary School the production that it was. So keep up the good work. And as we always say, we hope to see you in the gym. Okay? Take care.
Bye, everybody.
Hey, this is Coach Goins back again, and yes, I am still talking to the fine cast of the Jungle Book, okay? So we are again live here at Wilson Elementary School and in Fishersville, Virginia. As I always tell people, the big metropolitan city of, or the big metropolitan community of Fishersville. But on the podcast right now, we have say your title again?
Shere Khan.
Shere Khan, Mr. Landon Folks, is that correct? And then we have Miss Allen, who played Baloo, okay? So with that, folks, as we said earlier, had the opportunity to come out and see this production for the 2 nights that they put on. So with that, we got a couple questions for you guys. What did you like about, we'll first start with Miss Allen, what did you like about the Jungle Book?
I liked just performing and having the best time out there because it's my last year in elementary school.
Oh, okay.
And it was just nice meeting all of these people here, and they all did wonderful during their part.
Yes, ma'am, they did. Because again, no matter whether if you're the top person or the you might not have a speaking role, but you can't have a production without everybody, all cylinders firing off and making that right. So let's go over here and talk to the king of the jungle, Mr. Folks, who was absolutely. You know what, folks? If you would have seen this young man's makeup, makeup artist was from Hollywood. It was top shelf. So with that, Mr. Folk, who played Shere Khan, please tell us, all right, out of the 2 nights that you were on stage and doing the method to the madness, and he had it down to a T, folks, what night, in your opinion, was your best night?
I'm going to have to say the second to that because I felt more prepared for what was going to happen in the play.
Okay, so with that, 2 questions. It's a 2-parter here. Who is your favorite actor? And we go with Mr. Falk first, and then we'll follow back up with Miss Allen, not actor, actress. So put you on the spot. Who is your favorite actor?
Oh, that's tricky. I got a 3-way tie here between me, VJ, and Carter.
All right, so you heard it right there live on Basketball More Than the Game. He has dropped his dimes for the 3 best actors. So with that, Miss Allen, who's your favorite actress?
I'm going to have to say it's a tie also, but this time with 4 people.
All right.
I'm going to have to go me,
Okay.
Landon, VJ, and Carter.
All right. So Carter, he was King Louis, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. He was pumping it up. He did a great job, and there was bananas flying and monkeys flying and snakes crawling. So they did a great job, and that's what we said. So listen, you guys are not going to get off the hook that fast. Were either one of you in Annie last year?
I was in Annie. I was one of the main orphans. I played July.
Okay. Were you? This is your first?
No, I was not here last year.
Okay, so he wasn't here. So he's new to the area, and he comes in and he dials it up, and he does a great job. So with that, we want to talk a little bit about the future. Let's kind of fast forward and again make sure that folks understand this is elementary school, and as Miss Allen said, she's going to be transitioning to the middle school. Is that correct? Are you same thing with you, Mr. Falk?
No, I will be transitioning to the 5th grade.
Oh, to the 5th grade. So he's going to the 5th grade. Then he's got 1 more year here.
Yes.
And then all right, so she'll be going to the next grade, 6th grade.
Yes.
Oh man, let me see. I remember the 6th grade. Okay, 6th grade's pretty cool. You guys get ready. Matter of fact, when is school out?
It's actually out on Tuesday next week.
Tuesday next week, man. So the little graduation, all that ready. All right. So good stuff. So then Mr. Falk, well, actually he'll be back next year. So I know when the play is launched, for those of you that are out in our listening audience, if you don't have anything, make sure you dial in Wilson Elementary School drama department, and I'm sure there'll be something going on in that. So let's talk a little bit about future. What do you plan on doing? We'll start with Miss Allen. What do you plan on doing when you get out of high school?
I'm going to go to college, and I'm going to study in arts and drama. And my 3 top jobs that I want to do is be an actress, a teacher, or a meteorologist.
All right, so she's going to tell you if it's going to rain, and she's going to tell you if the sun's going to come out, and making sure that you got all your ducks in a row, and make sure you don't buy that DVD at the Blu-ray. You come to the theater and see it. So we wish you the best of luck, Miss Allen, as you pursue all of your dreams and goals. And all right, Mr. Folks, so tell our listening audience what's in store for you down the road.
All right, so I'm gonna have to agree with Miss Allen on beside me here. I want to go to college, get something good in my life, and then I'm gonna see if I can get an actress job, see what I can do, and then if I don't get that, I can become a archaeologist, a lawyer, a baseball player.
So you know what? All of that stuff is outstanding, because, here's the thing that Coach Goins can give you guys a little advice. Don't let anybody steal your dream, okay? So no matter, it is your dream. That is why it's called your dream. So whether it's actor, archaeologist, baseball player, meteorologist, all of those things are needed, and those things can be achieved, and why not you guys and ladies being able to achieve that. So, folks, listen, it's the Jungle Book presentation here at Wilson Elementary School. It was put on back in April 21st and 22nd. You missed it. You need to find out somebody that came, and if you get a hands on that DVD, get it, drop it in, watch it. It'll be the best 35 minutes that you spend in a long time. They put a lot of hard work into that, and we just want to celebrate our young actresses and actors. Again, just taking a little bit of time out and stopping by the school and find out what's going on. So again, we wish Mr. Fulks and Miss Allen continued success as she transitions to the 6th grade, and then Mr. Fulks will be here running Wilson Elementary School next year and waiting for that next production to come along. So again, we wish you all continued success, and we'll see you guys in the gym. Take care. Hey, this is Coach Goins, and yes, I am making it happen here with the stars and the cast of The Jungle Book Kids. And that was a production back in April, actually put on by the Wilson Elementary School production class. What a great opportunity. And as I said before, you missed it. But that's why they're on the podcast, to kind of give you a little recap. So we have Shanti / Coconut Tree, that was played by Miss Marina Thomas, and we also have King Louie, that was played by Carter Fleshner. That's correct, yes. And I want you guys to know, Miss Thomas and Mr. Fleshner, they knocked it out of the park. And I'm not saying that because he's sitting across me with a St. Louis hat on, but they did a wonderful job. So with that, let's ask a little questions from Miss Thomas. We'll start with her. Miss Thomas, what did you love so much about The Jungle Book?
Well, I really liked that everybody was able to have a part, and nobody was really left out. Nobody was just sitting back there doing nothing. How
about that? All right, there. King Louie, as I'm going to call him. Go ahead, King Louie. Drop us a dime. Tell us what you loved about your role, because I'm going to tell you something, sir. You did a great job, okay? I came 2 nights, and you really played that part. So tell the listening audience, what gave you the passion for King Louie?
King Louie is like a crazy person, and I'm kind of a crazy person right now. And it's just a great fit and role for me, because I love to walk around my house and sing and dance. And my family said that King Louie was a great role for me, and I really enjoyed having that role. Folks, I tell you, if you didn't have an opportunity to come see King Louie and Shanti the Coconut Tree, you missed it. You really did. So if you know anybody that's out there that's got a copy of The Jungle Book, the Wilson Elementary School production put on, please, sir, take time out, get a copy of that, and find out what was going on, because I'm telling you, 2 nights, and it was absolutely fantastic. So with that, second question coming down. First, King Louie, this round. Out of the 2 nights production, what was your favorite moment of either night? My favorite moment was for the first night, the bows and when they closed the curtain, because we were just partying and we said we did it. All that hard work and all the practices. And the second night, my favorite part was doing it one more time with everybody, and it was because it was a really good cast, and we did a really good job.
Yes, you certainly did. So with that, Miss Thomas, same question. What was your favorite aspect of either night?
I really liked that when I thought it was really funny when the vultures came out and
Yes.
they were acting like birds and flapping their wings, and it was really funny.
Yes, it was. I was actually on the front row, ladies and gentlemen, as I said early in the podcast, and I lost it. Okay, I thought it was like, I don't know what it was, but when those gentlemen come out and they were coming across the stage, and I was like, no good, just throw me out with the bathwater because I just totally lost it. So with that, let's see, who's in the either one of you fourth graders, fifth graders, ready to be a sixth grader? Fourth grade.
I'm in fifth grade.
Fifth grade, so you get ready to go to middle school. All right, how about that? And you'll be back again next year. All right, so hey, folks, look, put it on your radar. Do not let another play go on at Wilson Elementary School, and you don't get a chance to come out and check out Mr. Carter Fleschner, who played King Louis. So if he's back on stage, and actually we're sitting on the stage, so when I walked in the room, I'd never been on this side of the curtain. I was like, hey, this is pretty neat, and we're actually sitting on the stage where the production happened. So if you get an opportunity, come check him out here at Wilson Elementary School. So, and Miss Thomas is transitioning to the sixth grade, so she'll be going to Wilson Middle School, which is just up the street. So are you planning on continuing acting, when being an actress?
I really don't know. I might do it, but it would probably be a lot of work, and it's a lot of things to do, so I might not. I might, because it's really fun. So.
Okay. All right. So listen, either which way you guys decide to go, take it from Coach Goins. I really, really enjoyed the Jungle Book, and I wasn't there by myself. The place was packed on both nights with courage, with passion, and you guys did a great, great job. So with that, we're going to come back to Miss Thomas first. What are your plans, or do you have any future plans after high school? What would you love to be in life?
I would love to be a civil engineer.
Okay.
I like designing things, and I like building structures, so I think that would be a really good job.
You know what? That is a tremendous career. We certainly appreciate all the civil engineers. As I tell people, you don't think about it until you cross that bridge, and making sure that they did what they were supposed to do and keep us nice and uplifted and safe from hurt, harm, and danger. So again, tremendous career there. So we wish you continued success as you move forward to accomplish your goals. Now let's slide over here and talk to King Louis. King Louis, what's in your future there, sir?
Well, it's hard. I either want to be an MLB baseball player or professional basketball player.
Okay. So then, man, you got to definitely come back and get squared away so you can come back and talk to Coach Goins and have you as we talking a little bit about basketball, because in that you would love the show. I've got some, matter of fact, interviewed one of the gentlemen last night that won the national championship in the community college level, and I have some NBA guys on the podcast. So it may be something that could benefit you. So we wish you guys, Miss Thomas and Mr. Fleschner, continued success in their future endeavors. We thank them for their time and their effort. They did a great job with the Jungle Book here at Wilson Elementary School. So, and as we said before, if you didn't have an opportunity to see it, you missed it. But if you know somebody, have them, stop by with the DVD, get a little popcorn, and hit play and sit back and just take about 35 minutes out of your life and give back. So with that, Ms. Thomas, Mr. Fleschner, we certainly appreciate your time, and we will see you in the gym, and we'll talk to you later. Okay? Thank you. Hey, Coach Goins is back. Yes, and guess what? I am talking to Cos Coils. So if you don't know what that is, you don't know. You missed the Jungle Book. What that is, I have two of the ladies that were actually playing snakes. Yes, snakes in the play, not snakes on the plane. That's a different movie. Samuel L. Jackson is not at Wilson Elementary School. We have the stars right here. We have Miss Jackie Daniel and Miss Kyla Payne, who did an absolutely wonderful job in their whole presentation 2 nights. And if you missed that was April 21st and 22nd. You say, Coach Goins, it's May. I know it's May, and so do you. So what we're going to ask you, if you don't have a copy of the Jungle Book, we're going to ask you to find somebody that has it, get a little popcorn, pull your chair up, spend about 40 minutes, and you'll see a great presentation. So ladies, welcome to Basketball More in the Game.
Thank you.
Not a problem. So with that, just kind of relax. We're going to talk a little bit about the Jungle Book. So we'll start off with Miss Daniels, Miss Jackie Daniels. Again, she played one of the, actually it was like a huge python, I'm going to call it, in the play. So with that, tell us a little bit about what did you like about the Jungle Book?
I
liked watching Mowgli do his stuff and being the snake. It was fun.
Okay, and now Miss Payne, what did you like about your role?
I think like none of it would really be possible without our awesome director and the director of music. Like they all made it possible, but I really liked hanging out with my friends with my role.
You know, and you think about it, folks. You know, that's a great call out by both young ladies. You know, you can't. What can you do? How can you have a play when it's just one person? You can't do it. It's a body of work. It's a body of classmates. It's a body of students coming together, not for recess, not for play, but being able to put a production on. And Miss Knapsinger really nailed that in the beginning of the podcast, as she talked about all of the hard work. No matter what there was, if it was somebody that was turning on the light switch or making an opening statement in the production, huge win. So now, ladies, we know the play actually happened for 2 nights. All right, so I'm going to flip it around. Miss Payne, we'll go with you first. What was your favorite night of the two?
I think the second night, just because we got to honor all the people involved with the play, especially Mr. Dishman because he's retiring. We had a special thing for him, and it was really special because I've had him since my first year of school. So he came from LAD, and it was just fun, like, honoring him for all the hard work that he put into the play.
How about that? And Miss Dan, out of the 2 nights, what was your favorite?
I think I liked the second night because we got to honor a lot of people, and it was the last night, and I got to hang out with a bunch of my friends.
How about that? So again, you know what, folks, as we see these young ladies talking about, it's not about them receiving all the applause. They're taking time out, recognizing the gentleman that was, as they said, the sound director. And again, he did a great job, and that is Mr. Keith Dishman, as he's transitioning from his career, hanging it up, with something that we all desire to do once we finish our craft. And that is, retirement. So again, hats off to Mr. Dishman. Great job. As I said earlier in the show, I had the opportunity to be here both nights. The ladies did a great job. So with that, let's talk a little bit about who's your favorite actress. Okay, as people don't realize, and actually, folks, we're on the stage right now. My back is to the curtain, and the ladies are facing out to the audience. So with that, Miss Daniel, who is your favorite actress?
That's hard.
Okay, do you have a favorite movie?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and that favorite movie is?
The Hunger Games.
The Hunger Games. All right, so there you heard it right there. So from one, she's calling out the Hunger Games. Now, what do you like about the Hunger Games?
I just like how they brought a future world together.
Okay. All right, excellent. Miss Payne, same question. Who is your favorite actress?
Emma Watson from Harry Potter.
Okay. I heard somebody else call that. I think it was actually Megan that said that, and I could be wrong, but I think it was Megan that said that from the Harry Potter. So, you know what, folks, you got to realize that these young ladies, and as well as the rest of the cast members, have put a lot of time, a lot of talent into their work to create this production, not just for themselves, but in order to give back to their school, and as well as the supporting cast, or the teachers that were involved, and most importantly, they did a great job. I mean, to put the time in and then go back-to-back nights, Friday night, and then kind of dust it off and relax, and then Saturday, and then come back in and do another performance on Saturday is no small task. So with that, let's start kind of wrapping these things up. So Ms. Payne, what is in your future? Are you 5th grade or 6th grade?
I'm 5th grade.
She is 5th grade, so that means she is getting ready to graduate and head on down the road here. And again, we're at Wilson Elementary. She'll be transitioning to Wilson Middle School.
Yes.
So with that, when you graduate, what's in your future?
I feel like I really want to focus on school.
Okay.
I really want to try my best, but also like being there with my friends, like enjoying the moment.
Okay, so when you finish, what is your ultimate? What job would you like to have?
I don't really know. Like I thought about for a long time being a chef.
Okay.
But I really like basketball too, and I feel like I'm pretty good at it. So
Okay.
I think basketball.
How about that? So again, you on the right show. Basketball more than the game, and we'll talk about that here in a second. So Miss Daniel, what do you see yourself doing in the future?
I definitely want to hang out with friends, but mainly focus on school.
Okay, focus.
Really important.
Exactly. You know what? They've said it. There's nothing more important than capturing the now, what's going on. So, Miss Payne, we certainly encourage you to be a subscriber to Basketball More in the Game. I have NBA guys on the show. I have college coaches on the show. I actually had the gentleman that Lee from Lee High School that just won the state championship. He was our guest a couple weeks ago. We've had Ralph Sampson, former #1 player selected for the Houston Rockets, played at UVA. Had a college coach on last night who won the national championship in the junior college. So we try to touch a little bit of everybody, but in that, more importantly, and as we always say, and our listeners understand, it's more than the game. That's why we're here. We're not talking basketball. We're talking about what the young folks have done and come together as a cast and put out an excellent production of Disney, The Jungle Book Kids. So with that, we want to definitely thank Miss Jackie Daniel and Miss Kyle, am I pronouncing that right? Kylie Payne for their time, their talent, and they did a great job. So no, Samuel L., you cannot get them on the next episode or the next production of Snakes on a Plane. That was only exclusively here at Wilson Elementary. They did a great job in there from top to bottom in the 2 nights of The Jungle Book. So ladies, we wish you continued success, and if you ever in the gym, make sure you stop by and holler at Coach Goins. And we'll be right back with some more interviews. Hey folks, this is Coach Goins, and yes, we are continuing rolling along with our interviews with The Jungle Book. So let's talk we have Miss Elizabeth Elmore, we have Miss Brianna Bartley, and we have Miss Campbell. Is that correct? I just want to make sure we got everybody dialed in. And they were elephants, as well as they were in the Jungle Course. And the latest and greatest production of The Jungle Book here at Wilson Elementary School. The production went on April 21st and 22nd. So with that, we'll kind of go around the horn real quick and talk to Miss Elizabeth Elmore. Miss Elmore, what was your favorite part of The Jungle Book? Mowgli's solo. All right. We'll turn to Miss Bartley. What was your favorite part of The Jungle Book?
Since I was an elephant, my favorite part was when the elephants were doing their march.
All right. Oh, yeah, they did. They came off the stage and went down front. Isn't that correct? Mm-hmm. All right, and they come back up. All right, and then let's go to Miss Campbell. Miss Campbell, what was your favorite part of the play?
Getting to lead the elephant troop.
All right, getting to lead the elephant. And you know what, folks? If you weren't here, you missed it. So what I'm going to ask you to do, find somebody that has the DVD, grab some popcorn in about 35 minutes, and sit down and listen to the great stuff. So with that, we'll have to run the tables again real quick. Miss Elma, what grade are you in?
4th.
So you will be back here again next year. Mm-hmm. All right. Are you planning on continuing your acting career?
Yes.
How about that, folks? So again, let me give you that name again. That's Miss Elizabeth Elmore. So she will be back but for the 5th grade and have another opportunity to come out and see her. Now let's slide over and let's talk to Miss Bartley. Are you what grade are you in?
I'm in the 5th grade.
Oh, so she won't be here. She'll be making that transition to Wilson Middle School. All right. Are you continuing your acting career?
I do hope that they have a play, and yes, I would like to.
How about that, folks? So in the end, though, we make that turn in off of 250 and you head in here to Wilson. Don't stop at elementary school because she's not going to be here. Keep on top of the hill and kind of circle around, and you'll find her at the middle school. So now let's go over here and talk to the colonel who was heading these troops up with the elephants. So Miss Campbell, are you transitioning to Wilson Middle School? Mm-hmm. How about that? So are you planning on continuing your career? How about that? So we have 3 young ladies that are planning to continue their career on the stage, and we're actually on the stage right now. So we thank you so much for your time, ladies. You did a great job. So again, folks, if you have an opportunity, please dial in the podcast and make sure you listen to the Disney, The Jungle Book, so we can make sure that we have it all dialed in. Until then, we'll talk to you and we'll see you in the gym. Hey, folks, we're back, and we are about to wrap up this awesome episode of Basketball More in the Game. Coach Goins here, and we have, we got a mixture right here. We got a little bit of the baby elephants, we got a little bit of the monkeys, and we got a little bit of the jungle chorus. So we're just going to make it all happen right here as we bring this thing to a close. So I have with me right now, I have Miss Emily Staten. Is that right? Is she here?
Yes.
All right. Then we have Emma Jordan.
Yes.
All right, Miss Jordan here. We have Meredith Jones.
Yes.
Yes. All right, boy. Coach Goins is dialed in. As I make it way down here, we have Miss Abby Deshawn.
Here.
Here. All right. And Miss, who am I missing? Who didn't I call? And your name, tell me, Miss Meredith Jones? No? Darcy. I'm going to Darcy Brown. All right. So we got it. And
Abby Dole.
Abby Dole. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have everybody sitting right here around the mic. So, with that, I'm going to toss out a question, and whoever wants to take it can take it. What was your favorite part of the Jungle Book? Yes, ma'am. And state your name.
I'm Abigail Deshawn, and I liked all the creativity in the Jungle Book.
How about that? Yes, ma'am. State your name, please.
Meredith Jones, and I liked all the hard work that all the cast and crew put into the Jungle Book.
You know, think about it, folks. If you don't have hard work and you can't come in and you can't practice and can't dial this in, there's no way this production went on for April 21st and 22nd. So if you didn't see it, get some popcorn, get in front of the DVD player, crank up the remote, and sit back and enjoy this fantastic production. So, second question. Tell me what was your favorite night of the play. Okay? Yes, ma'am. State your name.
Emily Staten, and I like the first night getting to show everybody our hard work.
All right. Yes, ma'am.
Emma Jordan, and I liked how all of the first night because it was our first time.
Okay. Yes, we'll go this way.
Meredith Jones, and I liked the second night because especially all the fifth graders, they got to experience the last time, a big thing in elementary school.
Abby Dole, and I liked the second night because we closed up and we remembered Mr. Dishman.
How about that? Mr. Dishman is retiring. We heard that earlier from another cast member. And yes, ma'am.
Abigail Deshawn.
Yes.
And I liked the first night because we were all nervous, which that made us try harder.
How about that? How about that? So, last question. We're just going to run around the table real quick, and we're going to ask you to state your name and what grade you're going to be. And some of you may be transitioning to Wilson Middle School, and some of you may be still here. So, with that, and I'm going to start to my left, and state your name and what you're going to be, what school you'll be attending next year.
Emma Jordan, I'll be in 6th grade at Stewart's Draft Middle School.
Emily Staten, and I will be at Wilson Middle.
Meredith Jones, and I'm going to be at Wilson Middle.
Abby Dole, and I'll be at Wilson Elementary.
Abby Deshawn, and I'll be at I'll be at Castle Elementary.
Darcy Brown, and I'll be at Wilson Middle School next year.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it right here from the remaining cast members of the Jungle Book. We certainly appreciate their time, their effort, their talent, and we wish them continued success. So if you have an opportunity, no matter what school they named, and we did that for a reason, we had them give you their name and the school that they'll be attending. So when that production comes out, take a little bit of time out of your life, stop by, encourage them, see them perform, because as we said earlier, I had the opportunity to be in 2 nights, and it was the best 2 nights that I could have spent for about 45 minutes of my life and seeing what they did, and that's why we're here today, just to kind of cement a great opportunity. So with that, if you want to continue to subscribe and support Basketball More in the Game and listen to these fantastic ladies and their job, we certainly appreciate it. Ladies, we thank you for your time and your effort, and we'll see you in the gym. Hey, folks, yes, this is Coach Goins back, and listen, we have the backbone sitting at the table right now, and yes, we are still at Wilson Elementary School and talking to the leaders, from the director, the music director, as well as the stage manager and costume design. None other than Mr. Keith Dishman and Miss Kim Howerton has joined us on the podcast as we start to wrap up today's episode. Just a tremendous job, top to bottom. You heard from basically everybody from Snakes, and as I said, no Samuel L. Jackson, not Snakes on the plane. There was Snakes on the stage. And again, from Mowgli all the way to the Colonel, even had an opportunity to sit down and talk to King Louis. So with that, here are the main players, the directors, music directors, and also the stage man, the leaders that actually made this ship go. They may not want to take that credit, but we all know that they are elementary school students. And it was these leaders and these directors and everything that they did. So with that, we'll start off ladies first. So we'll start off and put Miss Howerton on the spot. And I know this is not your first production, but in that, what was so special to you about the Jungle Book?
Actually, this was my first.
Oh, excuse me. Okay.
Yes, it was my first one. So it was exciting just to work with these kids, to see how much heart they put into the practices, the plays, their enthusiasm. So it was a really enjoyable experience for me.
Yeah, and I'm not saying it because I was here one night. I was actually here both nights when it came to the third. And again, I think it's a special thing that when, especially the youth at this age, can come together, understand what that means as a team. And a lot of times people say, basketball, and that's what the name of the podcast is. It's more in the game. Even when you put on production, it is a team coming together for a common goal. So again, great work. From the stage and the costumes, and it were absolutely outstanding. So let's kind of just turn to my left, his right from where he's sitting, and congratulate and on a great career, music director, Mr. Keith Dishman. So here's the thing, folks, even before I even turn it over to him, when you have elementary students stopping and not really talking about themselves, but talking about Mr. Dishman, and they were so happy and so proud of being able to be on his last production, that means a lot. That means a lot for the individual. It means a lot for the student to recognize and not to be able to take the spotlight, if you will, but give credit where credit is due. A lot of times, we miss that opportunity, but Mr. Dishman, just take it from me as I sit across this side of the mic, and it's the first time I've ever had interaction with you. Your students respect you in a very high regard. So congratulations on your career. And with that, if you don't mind sharing a little insight on the Jungle Book.
I was very proud of them. Of course, I'm looking at it from the musical standpoint, and they sounded great. I was very proud of them. They worked hard, but also watching some of the actors grow as actors. Just for an example, Shere Khan, Landon Fulks, just got better and better as he practiced and to get into his character. So I thought he just did a wonderful job. But I was proud of all of them.
Yep. So again, you all, the three of them, and we also do have Miss Nefsinger. She is back in with us, and again, just top to bottom, as somebody as I say that really doesn't have a dime in the I don't have a student here. I just come because my best friend's son was in the play and coming to support him. But in that whole main thing is you guys, and a lot of times people don't say it enough, but thank you from a person in the community. And I actually came last year to the play and this year, and it's something that we look forward to. And as I challenge all of the listeners, make sure that you take about 40 minutes of your time, get some popcorn, get this DVD from somebody, run it down and drop it in and take a listen. So again, we thank you all so much, Ms. Howerton and Mr. Dishman, for your continued support of our students today and leaders of tomorrow. So with that, we're going to get the final words to Director Ms. Nefsinger. What's on your mind? How do you want to bring this thing to Landon?
You always have a home in the jungle.
How about that, ladies and gentlemen? So again, just we certainly appreciate again the time and the talent of everybody that participated in the Jungle Book presentation. It was my pleasure to get out of the gym and to get out of the studio and to be on a remote location. I can't do this without giving a shout out to our sponsors out of North Carolina, Mr. Curtis Jackson, independent insurance broker and benefits coordinator. So for the folks in North Carolina, if you need somebody to talk to insurance, please reach out to Curtis. It can be reached at area code 919-614-5796. And we certainly appreciate your continued support of basketball more than the game. So as we always close the show, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, somebody somewhere is working on your game. And I'm your host, Coach Goins, and I'll see you in the gym.